Welcome, everyone, to another enlightening Ascension Wisdom Conversations. It is brought to you by Galactic Ascension Academy at SheilaTillich.com. Yes, this is the time to awaken and live your soul's mastery. I am a galactic grandmother, Sheila Tillich, and I invite you to relax and enjoy this time together as we discover our Ascension Wisdom Mastery. As souls, we have entered a higher dimensional reality as humans on planet Earth. This is the new energy consciousness. It has awakened our multidimensional spiritual DNA abilities, which are given to us by our galactic ancestors. Join me, dear ones, as we live at our soul's full potential, living our wisdom mastery in this ascension time. Hello, everyone. This is Sheila Tillich, your host for Ascension Wisdom. Thank you for joining us for this beautiful episode of Ascension Wisdom, and I am very, very excited because today I have a dear friend and close person that I actually call one of my friends, very, very close friend, who is part of my Galactic Ascension Academy. And you are going to love this talk as you get to know Emily. So Emily, welcome. Welcome. I'm so excited. I know it's so fun when you have somebody that you're really close with and you can share from your heart, and that's exactly what this is going to be about. So everyone, I'm going to actually read her bio right now, and you're going to love, love, love Emily. All right. So Emily works with water, whale, and dolphin consciousness and our beloved galactic family of light. She offers unity field healing, a pioneering energy modality that invites people to remember their multidimensional mastery. Behind the scenes, unity field healing is supported by our Syrian family. The whales and dolphins often make appearance during sessions. She also offers water ceremonies, inviting people to deeply explore and connect with the magic of water. Her golden whale and golden dolphin selenite swords of light, made by master alchemist Tom Leader, are among the highest frequency tools on the planet. The handles contains crystals and sacred water from around the world, meteorites, sacred geometries, energy of ascended beings, and sacred texts. Emily is part of the Australian Council of Grandmothers and Sheila Tillich's Galactic Ascension Academy. She works with the Galactic Grandmother Energies as part of the living legacy of water protectors. During an encounter with the humpback whales, she was gifted with sacred rainbow breath, continuing this legend of the deep feminine connection with the sacred waters. Emily also works with horses and many other animals using horse communication and the sunlight swords of light. She has been blessed to have many encounters with our beloved cetaceans. All right, Emily, welcome. Welcome. I am just so excited. So let's see those swords again, dear sister. Let me see those swords. All right.
This is my beautiful dolphin, golden dolphin, and this is my golden whale.
Oh my goodness. They are gorgeous. I love it. I have my swords too, but yours is absolutely, especially in the bottom, the dolphin tails. You see that?
Yeah, this is like a flame on the dolphin, a beautiful flame, and the whale tail. Aren't they gorgeous?
Oh, it's gorgeous. I love it. I absolutely love it. All right. Well, audience, you are going to love Emily. And Emily, this is about being real. You know how I am. I don't like to put any airs on or not be who I really am. And just like I want you to share your beautiful light and your divine journey. So would you kind of share with my audience a little bit of the backstory? How did this all begin? How did you become a healer?
Well, since I was really little, I always wanted to be a nurse. My mum and auntie were nurses. Their godmother was a nurse. You know, it was really in my feeling to help others. And most of the things I've been drawn to throughout my whole life have been to do with healing and assisting people with their journey. And when I say healing, it's really about assisting people to remember their wholeness. We're already whole and complete. So I'm really grateful that I've followed that path, and I no longer nurse, but I feel that all the different areas that I've been drawn to have led me to do what I do now. And I also adore animals. Animals have been a really big part of my life, all my life. And I just love what they teach us. They're so great at reminding us about the present moment and about love. So I'm really, I love how when I first heard about Unity Field Healing and I heard Dr. John Ryan speak about his, Akashic remembering of being in the Lemurian temple, there was just something that really, I couldn't explain it, but I'm like, I have to learn that. What is it, And as I began down that path where I met you, Sheila, it helped me make sense of so many things that were happening on my inner planes with the dolphins and the whales in particular. And I remember John sharing the story of how he was told about a whale being present at the time of his birth, and he had the experience of meeting that whale when he went back to his homeland in Canada, to that place. And it was so profound. When he shared that, I really started to understand more deeply my Akashic draw to Unity Field Healing, and in particular, what was happening with the dolphins and the whales. Yeah.
Absolutely. Now, Emily and I met through Unity Field Healing, and I had been a practitioner since 2019. And after COVID, then Dr. Ryan started doing online actual sessions and training, which is wonderful. And Emily and I was actually set up to be partners with each other, practicing online. And we didn't know each other, but the connection was profound. It was profound. And since then, she's been a part of the Galactic Ascension Academy, which I am very, very honored that the Star Mothers brought this community to all of us, and that we are all together. The part about serendipity and synchronicity, there's no coincidence that we were supposed to meet, and there's no coincidence that Dr. Ryan talked about being there, and the dolphins were there when he was born. And we also have found out that you and I were sisters together doing that birthing in the water. And that's part of my journey in Lemuria as Princess Sophia, and one of my roles, and how we have built that connection in this lifetime and reconnected it back to Lemuria where we were. And it's just beautiful how it all comes together. And I share a lot about my journey of all the trauma and all the hurt and all the pain that I was in, and what led me to be the healer that I am today. And would you be willing to share a little bit about your pain and your trauma, what got you to be? Because healers are about healing themselves and then being able to heal others. And people in pain, they hurt in pain. And we have both been through it, so we know it. So I would love for you to share, Emily.
Thank you, Sheila. And yes, I have been through many things in my life. I am careful how I speak in some areas because it can still have an impact.
Oh, sure. Me
However,
too.
yeah. I went through, quite a deal of trauma, and and I also worked in, a public hospital where there's so much vicarious trauma that we were just young, 18-year-olds dealing with really, really extreme conditions, life, death, and everything in between. And all of that lives in the body. And so my journey is, recovering that beautiful inner child within myself who wasn't always free to play, and she wasn't always free to just be a kid, So I'm so grateful that through, doing the deep inner work, that she's there, and I can take her hand now as an adult, and I can guide her through many things. And Sheila, you've assisted me so profoundly, and I thank you deeply for all your amazing healings, because I know from your background, you always have spoken with me about the issues in everything that lives within the body, often from that earliest time. So yeah, I think it's important as we're working with others, what we're reminding them of as we have journeyed ourselves is providing the safety within. When we know how to do that for ourselves, when we know how to feel that safety, that compassion, that love, no matter what, within,
Mm-hmm.
then we learn to extend that to others, and they feel deeply seen, they feel deeply heard, maybe for the first time. And that's so important, because really healing is about reclaiming all the parts that we have fragmented. Our body is so wise, it does these things to cope with difficult situations, sometimes with difficult home life. We do all these things because we have nowhere else to go as children or in a situation. And then when our body's ready, it will rise. And when we can meet that with a lot of gentleness, love, and compassion, it's so beautiful to feel our own transformation and also to witness it in others. So
Yes.
I would say my journey's been a life's work. I'm still, processing things, and I used to sometimes feel as though, that fixing thing, I just wanted it to be fixed. Excuse me, sorry, something's just clicked up. But as I've matured and, understood myself more deeply, there's nothing to be fixed. It's just bringing everything home through our beautiful hearts and remembering, the fullness of who we are.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
As healers, we both come from our heart, and we know how important
Mm-hmm.
it is, especially in the energy that we have today. And the past and the traumas and the pain that we have is still there. However,
Mm-hmm.
we recognize it and we understand it now as healers. And I love being a healer and to be able to help see somebody grow. And that's exactly what I've seen in you. So I'm very, very proud to have you here and to see your own evolution. And it is about evolution. And my audience, would love to hear about ascension wisdom. What does that mean for you? However, I also know that the whales are so important to you. First, we have to do, before my mind doesn't scatter all over the place, is that beautiful tapestry behind you. So would
Yeah.
you share a little bit about that? Because it shows the heart, and we're going to talk about the heart, getting really into the heart. So would you share a little bit about that? What is that?
Yes. So this is by a wonderful Australian artist named Izzy Ivy. And my very dear friend Sashra gifted this to me for my healing room. And I just love it. It's got so many codes. Izzy Ivy's art has just so many codes, and it really ignites that remembering for
Yeah.
me. And for me, the whales, they're that incredible unconditional love. They love us so deeply. So I think this beautiful artwork, it just shows they're around these beautiful gates of the heart, and there's all these little keys inside. They hold the Akashic wisdom for humanity. They're the most incredible beings. For me, they're our ancient elders and our guardians, as are the dolphins.
Mm.
And yeah, I just love them. They're amazing, amazing beings.
They certainly are. They certainly are. This time during humanity is so changing, and the heartbeat of the earth and the heartbeat of the dolphins, how they carry our DNA. Many people don't really understand that, except they like the dolphins. They don't know why they're drawn towards them. Of course, we being healers, we have a little bit more understanding of all that. But also, don't you think it's just the right timing for all of this to come about, as far as connecting with each other around the earth from the heart center, and that beautiful tapestry when you talk about the keys, the keys. A lot of people don't understand what we talk about, when we talk about the keys and the light codes and the dolphin and DNA. But basically, it's about coming from compassion and coming from our hearts, and being that light to help everyone else come alive of who they really are as souls. And you're very involved with the grandmothers, all right, in Australia. So would you share a little bit more about that, especially this new awakening that we have here? Why the Indigenous is so important in the Australian communities, but the whole country of Australia.
Yes. So yeah, I was very blessed. I think it was around a year ago. After I'd been with the humpback whales, with Latina Russell, I was blessed to go on this amazing
Mm-hmm.
retreat in Hudson Bay and be with the humpback whales. And really, the whales are what led me to find the grandmothers. I didn't realize we had an Australian council here. I've done many teachings and learnings with some of the 13 Indigenous grandmothers, but I didn't know we had a council here. So when I went along to this gathering, I was guided to take 3 vials of water that were connected with my time with the whales in Hervey Bay and Gary. And in a broader way, the whales at that time, they gifted me with their rainbow breath. They breathed their breath all over me. It was just so wonderful. And I had a big download during that retreat that, that us women now, we are carrying forward that lineage of being the water protectors. If you look at traditions everywhere, there's so many stories, rainbow prophecy, creation stories, and the women are very often connected with those water stories.
Mm-hmm.
So that was very profound. So I gifted this water to 3 of the grandmothers at that gathering. One was the beautiful grandmother Curie, who began the council in Australia. Another was a gorgeous grandmother, Auntie Elaine, and she's from the Alice Springs area in the centre of Australia. And the third one was to Grandmother Sue, and she caretakes something called the Vortex Healing Centre down in Tasmania. And it's very connected to very sacred water, rainbow energies, and it's a very powerful place. So when I spoke with Grandmother Sue, she invited me to come down and see her at the Vortex. And before I even got to the vortex, I was so emotional. I just had all these tears come. Looking at what I could see was this incredible being in the mountain range, this incredible, it felt like a male guardian looking to the sky like that. And all around there is really strong rainbow energy. And grandmother Sue sent me on a walk back to that area. And during that time, I heard "Welcome home, daughter." And I understood that that was the place that I come in from the stars. You know, I don't know when, but I just, that was like the download I received. And when I got back to the vortex, grandmother Sue said to me, yes, you had to go and meet your Syrian self. And I'm like, did I? Like, I didn't know what was happening, but she knew what was happening. And she had invited me, you know, to stand on the vortex that is really powerful. She has all these other places around the whole property. All of them are very powerful. She has a dragon portal and a beautiful Kuan Yin, you know, space in her yurt. But the vortex looks down to the sun disk out in the ocean that she caretakes. So it probably took me maybe a year to integrate all that energy. It was such a profound trip. And during that time, she asked me, would I consider joining the grandmothers? So I really had to sit with it because it's a commitment. I know we're not messing around, right? We're joining like that greater grandmother energy. They're I know you know this so well, Sheila, but there's no nonsense. Like there's stuff to do, right? So I said yes, and I've been really, so blessed, and I know it's really part of my growth. I had a very profound dream of being at this place. It was like, a cafe or something, and I'm just, hi, saying hi to all these people. And one of the grandmothers took me by the arm and took me to this ceremony, and I realized like there was really important business going on. And she didn't berate me, but she just was showing me in my dream space, this is where your attention needs to be now. This is, there's stuff to do. No social, I mean, you can socialize and say hi. She wasn't strict, but it's like that's not the real business. This is the business, right? So I know that they're guiding and teaching me, and I'm so grateful. And in a couple of weeks, I'm going back to a gathering in Tasmania with some friends from there, which will be wonderful. And we'll hopefully get to go back to the vortex. So I'm so looking forward to that. It's a really beautiful, very special place.
Wow.
And I just like to honor, I always feel so teary when I speak about, the First Nations guardians here, that, we've got a really brutal history in Australia. It's really brutal. And we're healing that together. What really struck me so often with so many Indigenous elders that I learn from around the world is that despite everything, despite this, colonial history that's really been of annihilation, genocide, extreme brutality and cruelty, and here in Australia, especially with the children, taking the children away. I know it's happened in many other countries as well. It's just appalling. Despite all of that, there's this generosity of spirit to share and to heal and to extend the beauty of those creation stories that tell us so much if we're willing to listen. I know that I only understand a tiny little surface level depth, but I'm so grateful and would like to honor all the ancestors here for the way that they still so generously share with all of these other things. It's just so, it's so important, and we're so blessed. Yeah.
We
Sorry.
absolutely.
I'll
No,
just grab a tissue. Hold on.
that's all right. This is wonderful.
Yeah.
This is great. I love this because this is raw, this is real. And
Yeah.
I will share, of course, we are so connected. And as soon as you brought Grandmother Sue in,
Yeah.
I started getting downloads and they were talking to me through the seer and I was just beaming and they were like sending the love back and forth and it was wonderful. And to solidify what you're saying from the heart, how we're all connected and the atrocities that's happened for humanity, you know, all the countries. And this time of the shift of consciousness, meaning the higher frequencies happening, is beautiful because we are all connected from that heart and the healing that needs to be done. And we are continually healing. And I'd like you to share. You said you come from the consciousness. For my viewers that really don't understand that, how would you describe that as far as communicating what type of healing that you do? How if somebody came to you and said, "I don't know what's going on with me. I just feel trapped inside," you know?
Yeah.
How would you explain that to them? Just off the cuff from your
I
heart.
would I would say when we're speaking with consciousness, humans are really great at placing restriction on themselves and not realizing how powerful they are. And again, the whales and dolphins, they hold so much space and love for us to remember that, as do all the creatures. So I would explain to people that they always have that connection to their divine conscious self. However, we feel a bit clouded, we feel a bit disconnected. We forget that. We forget to ask for help. We forget that we're one with the divine. We forget we're part of that beautiful one heart. And so really whatever has led them there is inviting them to remember that greater consciousness and to remember that they're not separate from that. They are part of that. And in unity field healing, we're restoring that connection. It's always there. It hasn't gone anywhere. We're just strengthening, recalibrating. Many times, because the dolphins are experts in DNA, that's their expertise, right? I feel them come in and especially if I have the swords, I feel like they're just weaving all this quantum energy and doing something to the DNA to restructure our human, our human field so that we are aligned with that greater consciousness.
That's
And
wonderful.
as we do that, we're one with the earth. So our planet is going through this great ascension and we're not separate from that. So it's no accident that these beautiful modalities are here right at this time to assist humanity to go through that. So that's what I'd explain to people.
That's right. I'm going to put you on the spot here a little bit.
Yeah.
Would you like to do any energy connection with your swords or do anything with it?
Oh,
Because the
sure.
Star Mothers are saying, let's get that energy rocking and rolling here between you
Yes.
and I, but especially with those swords. And mine's in the other room, but your swords is what you're going to be working with. And I would love for my audience to feel your energy.
Yeah, sure. So what about I might do a little short guided meditation with the swords and I'll invite our whale and dolphin brothers and sisters to be with us
That would
and
be
our
awesome.
galactic family, and we'll see what happens.
That
Does
would
that
be
sound good?
wonderful. That sounds
Yeah.
wonderful. I'd like that.
Okay.
All
So
right.
I'm going to hold my beautiful thoughts as I do this and inviting everybody tuning in to just take a moment, take a breath, beautiful breath of life. And as you breathe out, letting your energy settle, letting your feet connect with the earth star below you, feeling your energy deeply connecting with the heart of our beautiful Mama Gaia. And this next breath in, as you breathe out, imagining from the top of your crown, connecting with the star energy above, our soul star, and inviting yourself to connect with the greater consciousness, whatever that means to you, our galactic family of light that are here behind the scenes supporting us. Feeling as we do that, your consciousness expanding into the wondrous, multidimensional, masterful self that you truly are. Dropping all the stories, letting them just go right out of your field, feeling yourself in that oneness. And I'm going to invite our beautiful dolphin brothers and sisters. I can feel them. They're making me giggle already. To swim in. I feel like there's this great big pod that's just circling around us all, with their bubbles and their play. They're joyfully doing a little tail slapping and a couple of leaping out of the water and embracing that beautiful energy that they bring of joy, of laughter and play, and that lightness of being that they carry. And just really invite you to let yourself go, be in that playful, childish, inner child joy. Just be with them for a moment. Breathe all of their energy in deeply. Thank you, our beautiful dolphin friends. I can't stop smiling and giggling. And slowly, slowly, I feel our beautiful mother humpback whale coming towards us. She's coming slowly, but with great purpose. She's coming to join the dolphins. I feel my heart connecting with hers. And I see her magnificent eye that is a portal. If it feels okay for you, I invite you to connect your heart with this beautiful mother whale and with her eye. And she's showering each of us with her exquisitely beautiful rainbow breath that carries her song, her heartbeat. It carries the frequencies of unity, of love, and the vast ascension knowledge that she carries within her. She's gifting each of us with that through the sacred waters. So I invite you to deeply inhale the rainbow frequencies into every cell. Breathe in that beautiful star water. Feel the aliveness of the water. I'm seeing the beautiful sparkling golden codes that you see in shallow water when the sunlight shines through the water onto the sand below. Feeling that beautiful crystalline quality of the water infused with this rainbow breath. And maybe after we've completed this meditation, my invitation is to remember this beautiful energy we've been in with the whales and the dolphins, and hold your glass of water, hold your next glass of water, hold it to your heart, and thank that water. Water is truly life. Without it, we don't exist. Imagine that water carries all that beautiful dolphin energy and the whale frequencies. And as you drink it, you're remembering the fullness of who you are. You are a multi-dimensional master. So just taking a deep breath in, and we're going to say a beautiful, huge thank you to our cetacean family for joining us, for reminding us of who we truly are, and thanking their consciousness and the consciousness of water that is truly the most magnificent substance. And just as we're coming back, I'd like to share a teaching from the grandmothers. So just take one more deep breath in. As you breathe out, just gently open your eyes. Tears. The teaching, I'd like to share that, what the grandmothers teach in many traditions around the world is that when we offer our prayers into the water, they're taken throughout the whole universe, just as we've journeyed now with our whale brothers and sisters and our dolphin brothers and sisters. When we offer our prayers into the water, we offer them back into the rivers, the streams, the oceans. They go up into the clouds. And from there, they might travel over the mountains. They might become ice. They might become snow. They become all the different forms that water takes. And then they're rained back down to be distributed throughout the whole universe. So that's the power of offering our prayers and intentions into the water.
Oh, thank you, Emily.
My
Oh,
pleasure.
that's beautiful. I just love this connection, and I love being connected to you and everyone else around this beautiful web around Mother Gaia and how she brings us all together with her elements and her love and her frequency. And I know, many people would love to know how to get a hold of you. So, would you please share with my community how can they, if they would like to get a hold of you, how could they reach you?
Oh, thank you, Sheila.
Hmm.
Well, the first port of call would be the Unity Field Healing website. I'm under the list of Australian practitioners. And as Sheila and I do, we can offer healings around the world. Sheila and I do exchanges. The energy is quantum, so we can travel anywhere with the energy. So that would be the first port of call. And I have an Instagram site. It's eagle underscore spirit underscore UF healing, short for Unity Field Healing. Eagle underscore spirit underscore UF healing. So they're probably the two best ways to reach me. And yeah, thank you for that opportunity, Sheila.
Oh, you're
I appreciate
welcome. You're welcome. This has been wonderful, and I don't want it to end. I know, I know, I know. But I would love for my audience to come meet you more, and in the Galactic Ascension Academy, because you're on there with me. We
Yeah,
do have a beautiful, wonderful community, but it's about connecting from the heart center. And also, I would love to have you on again. And I would like to do like a channeling between the two galactic grandmothers here. All right.
yeah.
So that would be wonderful. We can set up another time to be together. So I would love that.
Oh, me too.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Ascension Wisdom. And from my heart and Emily's heart, we share our love to all of you. And we are all connected. Namaste. Bye bye
Namaste.
for now. Welcome, everyone, to another enlightening Ascension Wisdom Conversations. It is brought to you by Galactic Ascension Academy at SheilaTillich.com. Yes, this is the time to awaken and live your soul's mastery. I am a Galactic Grandmother, Sheila Tillich, and I invite you to relax and enjoy this time together as we discover our Ascension Wisdom Mastery. As souls, we have entered a higher dimensional reality as humans on planet Earth. This is the new energy consciousness. It has awakened our multidimensional spiritual DNA abilities, which are given to us by our